Hey friends, it's Hope, and today I'm here to do my March wrap-up. Now, I read a few books this month and a few graphic novels, and so because there are a lot of books to talk about, I'm not going to go in depth with each one. So what I'm going to do for you guys is leave the Goodreads link to each book and graphic novel down below in the description box. That way, if you guys are interested in hearing more about what each book is about, you can check the Goodreads site for the book. So without further ado, let's just go ahead and get started. At the beginning of March, I kind of did a little binge reading. I was introduced to the Seabreeze series by Abby Glines. This is a YA book series, like a contemporary book series. And it's a companion series to where it features different characters throughout the series, but they all kind of run in the same friend circle. I actually did a non-spoiler book review in my 3 for 3 for the very first one, and I will go ahead and leave that link down below if you guys are interested in checking that out. But because I binge read maybe 5 or 6 of them within the first week and a half of March, I'm just gonna quickly read off to you the book title and what I rated it, and we'll just leave it at that. Alright, so for the first book, it was Breathe, and I absolutely adored it. I rated it a 5 out of 5 stars. So naturally, I had to pick up book 2, which was Because of Low, and I also rated that one a 5 out of 5 stars. Absolutely adored it. And then I continued to read the third book, which was While It Lasts, and I think this one is the one that got optioned for a movie. And if you guys didn't know that this was optioned for a movie and you really love Cage and his story, then you guys are probably freaking out right now, which is totally understandable. But I rated that book a 4 out of 5 stars. Then I went on to read book number 4, which was Just for Now. I was kind of getting a little jaded with the whole kind of same storyline type of feel, the bad boy, the good girl, you know what I'm talking about. Cage actually got 2 books in this series, so I skipped book number 5 and I went to book 6 because I heard that this book, Misbehaving, was actually a role reversal from the books that we previously got, and it followed the bad girl and the good boy, and I was really interested in reading that, but I was kind of too far gone and a little bit over it by that point, so I only rated this one a 3 out of 5 stars just because at that point I really was feeling jaded. So I set down the series and I haven't picked it up since, but I think there are, let's see, 4 books, including Cage's second book, that I need to read. I will get to those eventually. Then after binge reading that series, I decided to switch it up a little bit, so I picked up Alex and Ada volumes 2 and 3. I really enjoyed volume 1 last month, and I rated volume 2 a 5 out of 5 stars and volume 3 a 4 out of 5 stars. I don't know how many more are going to be in this graphic novel series, but if you guys know, definitely leave me a comment down below. I really wanted to pick up another new adult book, and a little while back I had read a book by Christina Lauren. I read the first book in the Wild Seasons companion series and loved it, and I saw that my Overdrive app had book number 2 available, so I picked that up and sped right on through it. Book number 2 is A Dirty Rowdy Thing, and it was probably the most adult themed new adult book in this series that I've read so far. It wasn't my absolute favorite from the 2 that I had read at that moment, but I really did enjoy the characters and the story, and for that reason I rated it a 4 out of 5 stars. So then I picked up book number 3 on audio and listened to it. The narrators were wonderful. It might possibly be my favorite so far, even though I freaking loved the first book. But oh guys, this story was so cute. If you guys like new adult books, I highly suggest you checking out this series, and definitely stick around for book 3 because it was amazing. I also did a non-spoiler book review in my 3 for 3, like I said before, linked down below. So you guys may have remembered that in my March TBR, I asked for your guys' help with helping me choose what to read this month. So you guys voted, and the top 2 votes were Throne of Glass and The Nightingale. So I did read both of these, and I really did enjoy both. I just posted a non-spoiler book review for The Nightingale. I ended up rating it a 3.5 out of 5 stars. If you guys like historical fiction books or books revolving around World War II, I highly recommend. And then of course I read Throne of Glass. I tried to not let the hype get to me because I didn't want that to take away from my enjoyment level, but I really did like this book. I felt that the ending was a little bit off. The magical elements that were kind of introduced at the end just made it feel like a completely different story, and so I just didn't appreciate it as much as I would have hoped. So I rated it a 4 out of 5 stars, but with that said, I immediately picked up book number 2, which brings me to A Crown of Midnight. I just finished this 3 hours ago, and all I have to say is holy freaking crap. Now, when I started reading this book, I was a little bit iffy on it just because I kind of got spoiled for something that happens in the next book, so I had really conflicting feelings about it. I mentioned it a few times in my Friday Reads video. This took me 3 weeks to read, whereas Throne of Glass, I read that one night until 3 a.m. on a work night. I know it was so stupid, but totally worth it. But yeah, it took me a really long time to read this book just because I had those conflicting feelings and I was trying to push that spoiler in the back of my mind. And I also thought the beginning of this book was kind of slow, or maybe the middle was kind of slow. I don't know, it was just dragging at some point. But that ending, guys, that ending. I haven't rated it on Goodreads yet, but I'm definitely going to put it as a 4 out of 5 stars. The next 2 books I read back to back. If you guys follow me on any of my social media platforms, you may have seen that I found this gem in a free little library when I was walking to an event that I was working. It's obviously The Problem with Forever by Jennifer L. Armentrout. This book comes out in May, and I read it, and I was not expecting what an emotional toll this was going to take on me. This was not a light and fluffy read, which I was completely thrown off by, because you look at this cover and you think, wow, that's beautiful. I love the colors. This is going to be a cute little contemporary. No, guys, this will just pull at your heartstrings. This book does deal with a lot of mental illness issues and PTSD, and I thought it was done really well. Obviously, I'm not an expert. I just really felt for the characters, and I ended up rating this one a 4 out of 5 stars. And the book that I immediately picked up after reading that was Perfect Chemistry, and the reason why I picked this up was because this book had so many similar elements to it that was in The Problem with Forever that it just made me want to give this a reread. I reread this a year and a half ago, really loved it. I rated it a 5 out of 5 stars then. I'm rating it a 5 out of 5 stars now. It had me laughing, and it also moved me to tears. I forgot how much I love Alex Fuentes. He is seriously like the best bad boy character that I've ever read about. Absolutely adore him. If you guys haven't read the Perfect Chemistry companion series, do so now. All right, friends, well, I think that's all the books that I read this month. I feel like I'm forgetting at least one, but maybe I'm not, who knows. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I'm sure I will see you soon. Bye.